Okay, let's dig into this message here around people sticking their noses where it doesn't belong, okay? I'm hearing people wrong about this connection with you two and this whole twin flame dance, okay? I'm seeing that there's a divine masculine out there who has a lot of deep feelings for you that continue to grow. There have been a lot of uncomfortable conversations I've been picking up on. I'm hearing still, like you still think about her? Okay, but it's been years though. I thought that we were past this. And somebody's saying, like, I can't help it. What do you want me to just shut off my feelings? I can't help that I think about her. I'm dreaming about her. I don't know what to do. The dreams make me feel like I need to see her. What do you mean you need to see her? But we've got, X, Y, and Z going on. I don't care. I feel like I'm going to go insane if I don't explore this. And that's why I'm seeing maybe romantic feelings in here. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So let's get into this message, because I'm seeing that there was either a group of people or someone that convinced them that their feelings for you was something that would just pass. Okay. Take it how it resonates, guys. I don't know what the dynamics are there. Okay. They could have been in a relationship with someone. Okay, this is someone who has tried to work out this relationship by getting rid of their feelings for you and moving on, but it hasn't worked. And I don't know why I'm seeing 2 years. I just saw 2 years. It's like 2 years later, and looks like I've checked in, and feelings are just stronger than ever. Okay, this person has been caught watching you, or they've maybe said your name in their sleep. They've recently had a dream about you. Check out some of the titles I've done where I've talked about your masculines having dreams about you. And it's like the dreams linger. It's not like a dream that just goes away. It's like it lingers for the next week. And usually the details are very vivid. So much to the point where it feels very real. And you're just disappointed when you wake up and realize that, oh shit, we're not actually in contact. So that kind of shit could be happening where, yeah, these feelings are very real for you, Divine Feminines, and they continue to grow into something bigger and bigger, to the point where I feel like your masculines are on a need-to-know basis. I need to know what this is before I can move forward with just life in general, okay? And I feel like for a long time, they've tried their best to either keep a connection going or, like I'm saying, forget about you, Divine Feminine. Somebody thought that these feelings for you was just something quick, it would pass. Maybe you even met your Divine Masculines and you thought that by seeing one another, it would be like the end of things. But I feel like just by opening up that can of worms and connecting with each other in the first place, it can't be undone, is what I'm seeing. So we've got this energy about like X energy. That's why I feel like they could have been, either they were in a relationship when you guys met and it was just something that couldn't work out because of that, or you guys might have gone your separate ways in life and just always felt like there was something missing, particularly for this masculine, okay? Because they're the ones who kind of feel like they need to take the action, right? The Divine Feminines are okay and usually good with observing the connection sometimes from afar and intuitively feeling that divine timing is at play. But whoever this masculine is, they're feeling that they just need to clear their energy right now. With Release Your Ex, I'm getting somebody who wants to be single. That could be an uncomfortable conversation that's being had, where it's like I'm a little fly on the wall and I'm hearing that I just need to be alone. What if I was to just take some space? I'm hearing things like, I could get a place. I could get an Airbnb for like a week. I just need some time to think. Somebody doesn't want them to be alone because they know that if they give them some time alone, that's the end of things. So I feel like somebody's trying to avoid at all costs your Divine Masculine being on their own for a while. I even hear somebody saying like, I'll just stay with my parents for a little while. And that person's like, no. So I don't know what is going on there, but I do feel like there's a lot of conversation around either just wanting to be single, wanting to be on their own because they need time to explore the feelings that they have for you. Okay, a lot of healing coming up for the masculines. This card has been coming up in a lot of the energies where we talk about the masculines wanting to come forward again. So I feel like that's a positive sign of just being more authentic, or like I'm hearing paying attention to all of the things that they need to let go of in order to seek out their happiness. When you live authentically, it's like you can't help but tune into what's right. It's like there's this constant need to just want to do things by the book. And so I feel like whatever relationship that they're in right now, it's not by the book. They've outgrown that. Maybe it mimics cycles that their parents went through, that they knew their parents weren't happy. They knew their parents were the type to stay with one another because they didn't want to face, divorce in the community or, break the family apart. So they just stayed bitter with one another. And maybe your masculine as a kid had to observe this, and they kind of low-key fell into the same patterns of, being with someone that they're not completely happy with, but at the same time, their hands are tied because they've signed some kind of contract, or they belong to a community where it's like, oh, no, like, once you engage in that contract, you stay, like, what would people think? What would people say? So, and I think too, that's why I was picking up on, like, a lot of influence. Your masculines are starting to part ways with just people who are too close for comfort, people who have too much of an opinion or too much of an influence on their life. Okay, these could be all of the things that they're contemplating. Maybe some of them are sleeping on their parents' couch. This is, I feel like, a lot of the thoughts that many of them may be going through with this card as well. I'm seeing that the time has come for them to really make a swift exit from a situation. It's been weighing them down. Never mind the divine feminine and courting you right now. I feel like the first things first, like, I just need to deal with these feelings. I care for somebody else, and I can't be in a situation with you and have these deep feelings for somebody else. What's he saying about his feelings for you? Okay, so the situation's calling for you to have faith, so trust. Didn't I share a reading last night where I talked about you being the only one he can trust right now because he's going through a lot of this chaotic energy? I feel too, even realizing that, like, some of the people that are closest to him are the ones that just have really been in the way of him pursuing his happiness. And I'm also seeing, like, again, this has nothing to do with the divine feminine. You were merely a mirror to what it is was happening under the surface in his own individual life. I feel like whoever was around him was trying to paint a picture of this connection being something that was bad for him, because the karmics in this situation realized that it was whipping the masculines into shape quicker than they were ready for. All of a sudden he started waking up and realizing things weren't right, and I don't, want to live my life this way, and, I'm unhappy with the way things are going here. And everybody was getting uncomfortable because it's like, whoa, like, we're not going to be able to use this person for, finances, or, well, no, this person's drawing boundaries. I can't really call them for, favors anymore. They're not just saying yes to everything like they used to. So that's the healing I feel like you represent, or you stand for, divine feminines. And, many of them are, I feel like, paying attention to what it is they feel. This whole big trust thing is like, trust that you maybe need to be on your own for a little while. Maybe you've even gone through this on your journey to divine feminines, where I'm hearing, if you can do it, I can do it. So maybe your masculines have seen you go through a portion of your journey where you've had to be on your own. You pulled away from toxic cycles or toxic people, friendships. At one point you were definitely looking like the weirdo in the community, being all on your own and secluding yourself and keeping to yourself. A lot of people wanted to know at the time what the heck was going on with you. But you've become, again, the source of trust for the divine masculine. And now is the time where they're having to have that tough conversation to let people know around them. I know, alarms are going off. I'm paying attention to the red flags around me. I don't want to live life like this anymore. My soul won't allow me to. Okay, I feel like that's the epitome of the toxic cycles. Let's see what some of these red flags are. What's your masculine now paying closer attention to? Okay, so I feel like that mirror effect, taking a good look at themselves, and I'm seeing not wanting any more time to pass. I'm getting aging as well. Somebody's looking at themselves aging. I'm getting too old for this shit, I'm also hearing. Also, too, the time has come. Somebody is looking at themselves feeling like, I can't go on anymore like this. I don't want to lose any more years. Feeling like I have this opportunity in front of me. If I were to just smarten up and clear my energy, I would get my vitality back. Maybe those are the red flags that are appearing before them, is that the very people around them have been draining them or forcing them or causing them to be pushed up against the wall, lose their identity in a sense. That's why somebody needs to be on their own. I feel like a lot of people were wrong about his feelings for you because they weren't anticipating it was going to be this life-changing, life-altering, life-shifting. They didn't realize that these feelings that your masculine had for you and that you have for your masculine was going to drastically turn you two into the best version of yourself. So much to the point where you're now starting to flick off anything else that doesn't align with your vibration. Everybody's panicking now because I feel like in the beginning, people tried to make it seem like, it was something that was going to pass. Divine Feminines, many of you have been dragged through the mud in terms of like your reputation or your past. People might have judged you based off of like your financial status at the time. I just keep seeing people labeling you as not good enough. Many of you might have been called a homewrecker. A lot of you would have been seen as either too old or if you had kids, too mature, like just something about just not fitting into your Divine Masculine's world. It was plastered with illusions because guess who now is looking like the people that aren't good enough to be around your Divine Masculines right now? Yeah, it's the same people that were pointing their finger at you, except now nobody can talk about you. Nobody has nothing to say. Check out that reading. I think nothing to say is on the thumbnail, right? Because the universe is blessing you now with so much abundance. Look at this. Told you guys you're holding up that mirror. You did the healing as well, Divine Feminines. That's why many of you are being blessed with the abundance. You didn't have to fight back. You didn't force yourself to defend yourself. Many of you just kept going. Many people came in and tried to sabotage a lot of what you had going on. Again, I just keep seeing trying to tarnish your image in whatever ways they could, especially regarding this whole twin flame experience and this twin flame journey. Somebody wanted your masculines to just keep their mask on and not be able to truthfully express how it is they were truly feeling, but he's not holding back anymore. The healing is taking place whether you're in his life or not. Okay? Because these people can't control his dreams. His dreams is directly related to his connection to God. So they can't interfere with that. Okay, so now your masculines are working on freedom. Okay, and that's this big energy that I am seeing with his love for you is continuing to grow so much to the point where he's going to get to this place of actually going through this ending. And again, it's not to jump into a relationship with the Divine Feminine. This is all about reconnecting back to his self. And in order to do that, he's got to go ahead and release some of the people that have been closest to him in the form of either romantic relationships, lovers, it could be close family and friends. Everybody who has tried to sabotage his success in the form of sabotaging the connection to you. Yeah, I'm hearing him say they got to go. All right. I love you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, guys.